I think about a lot how it is the 21st century, it's 2026, and majority of society still fears powerful women. Hi, my name is Karma, aka McKenna, aka other things, and we are in the back trunk of my Kia right now. It is Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. I live very, very close to the gay district in my city. So they're starting their first festival on the strip, not too far from here. And it's going to be a busy, busy party night throughout now and Sunday. I have been going through another change in my life, making really hard choices about how I'm going to make money, how I'm going to make more money than I'm making right now, and how am I going to go about getting the things that I want, which also require money. So that's where I'm at. Um, I've been really, really diving into powerful women who are legends and like biblical references and stuff this week. Specifically, I have been looking into the story of Jezebel. So this week it started off with me listening to Sade. Um, I've been listening to Sade all week now, and she has this one song in one of her albums that's called Jezebel, and it's an amazing song. You should definitely go listen to it. But what it really depicts is how Jezebel really was a woman who knew what she wanted and she would do anything to get it, no matter what. Living in a world that was against her from the start, um, no matter what it was, no matter what was against her, she made sure that she went after the things that she desired. And I think it's more of a story of the power that women hold. And I kind of pertain it to my own life and my experiences, where I'm starting to be more open about how I understand how influential my power, my energy, and my presence is, and how it's been like that since I was young. And it can be a very dangerous thing from the start of youth to now to have that kind of power as a young woman and know you do, because it makes society respond to you differently than they respond to other people or other women. And usually how the story goes is that powerful women end up with what they desire and what they want. And since we live in a world that can't just burn powerful women at the stake, not directly, thankfully, women have more of an opportunity to be whole and be their full selves. In the story of Jezebel, she's actually a queen. A lot of stories try to paint her as like a holy prostitute kind of symbol. However, she was a queen. She was a queen. She married an Israeli king, and she was, from her rights, a pagan woman. And they didn't like that. Israel were not pagan, obviously, and that was a clash. That was the first clash. And when she married her husband, she tended to be a lot stronger in almost every area of life. She knew how to get things done. She knew how to use her power. She knew how to get exactly what she wanted, and she would stop for nothing to get what she wanted. And in the Bible, she's kind of painted like a queen of demons, whore of Babylon situation. Very, very synonymous to Lilith, specifically. And we are back on my porch. So, The way that I have been relating to Jezebel a lot is how she was said to be a beautiful woman in her rights, in her beliefs, in her power. She was strong, and she was painted as the villain. And I feel like a lot of powerful, whole women in a society where you think people would know better by now are still painted as the villain. Women who literally just say no, women who make their own money, women who strip or dance, women who are sensually open and honest, women who dress up, women who do anything that is not palatable are painted as some crazy villain. Women who don't allow you to be entitled to their time or their energy or their presence for crumbs. And I live in the second most dangerous state, if you want to look this up, unless you look at my other videos where I say where I live. I live in the second most dangerous state for women to live in. From the low education system to the low pay rates, the cost of living, you tend to meet a lot more entitled male figures in places where nobody's being educated properly, or everybody's a part of the working class, or you know. So I live in a place where men with nothing to give, they have no respect, no reverence, feel entitled to the most beautiful woman's time. They think that they can just go up to any woman and just talk to her and say whatever they want. And especially women who are fully in their power, they like to test the waters there. Um, and it's brought me to believe that men are the one of the most delusional species to ever exist. But that's besides the point. We're talking about powerful women and how the world is paving a way for powerful women to not ever be able to be silenced again. And even if we think it's all this or that shaking up everything, whether it's war or racism or anything, I think it all centers around the feminine. I think that every problem is a direct um, descendant of abuse of the feminine archetype of women, of everything beautiful in this world. I genuinely think that all of that is just descendant of that. Women are naturally nurturing, are naturally caring, but for them to be that fully, they have to be whole. They have to be in their true power. Women have been stripped of one part of them to only leave the other, where they're the nurturing part and stuff. But women are more than just that. And when you strip one part, you create an imbalance of not allowing her to be who she truly is. And if you condition her long enough to believe that she isn't fully whole, she's going to be this small little thing. And this has been talked about a lot. In my story, I am a very open, a very honest, a very intense woman. And no matter how hard I try to mask it, I can't. I never have been able to. Which makes people run away from me, and which makes me feel like I'm the problem. And you know, I am all into the taboo, and I realize that a conventional lifestyle doesn't work for me, meaning I'm a powerful woman. Conventional lifestyles don't work for powerful women. No matter how hard we try to live a conventional life to fit into some type of mold, it does not work. Meaning, for the solutions to my problems are going to be the unconventional route. And I'm thinking, and I'm in a stage of thinking of how much it's going to change me and how much I'm anticipating the change and expecting the change, and how much some things that I have to let go of so I can have exactly what I want. Like, for instance, the things I've been dealing with this. I need to allow more options than one. I need to allow myself not to feel guilty if I invest money into fixing it, you know? I need to allow myself to be powerful in any way possible. Powerful women are whole and deep and some of the most loving and caring women in this world, which means most of the time, as sad as it sounds, we also end up being single for a good amount of our life or our whole lives because we have conditioned a society where people are not able to meet depth, recognize it, and and jump and come through it. They see it and they see the intensity and they run away. They get scared. But as a powerful woman, I'd like to play into that. I like to play into that because every emotion, fear, love, hate, anger, desperation, rage, happiness, laughter, whatever it is, has a power source. Every emotion has its own power and is meant to be utilized for something different every time. And as a powerful woman, I would like to take every emotion that I feel and learn how to utilize it for everything that I want. Instead of trying to teach myself this weird manifestation trick where if I don't believe I have it, I don't have bitch, shut up. That's not to tell someone to completely be delusional and disclose their human emotions is actually probably stopping their manifestations from happening. A lot of miracles happen right before somebody or right after somebody had a great period of anger and rage. A lot of doors open sometimes when somebody punched a hole through a wall or cried their eyes out the night before. You can't stop the emotions from happening, but you can see what their purpose is and learn how to utilize them for their full power. And that's what the divine feminine is. The divine feminine is the egg. The egg carries all the information that you need. Literally, I was looking into this today. The sperm is not a seed. The egg is a seed. The sperm is like the soil. If it's nutritious soil, it will fertilize the seed, and the seed will grow. The sperm's not a seed. It doesn't carry any nutrition, any information. It doesn't even carry the mitochondria. But yet we've made a whole society believe that somehow that's the driving force of a baby. Women carry all the power, and as a powerful woman, I'm going to continue to learn how to stand in that power, regardless if nobody ever jumps and rises to the plate to be in love with me, or I don't always have the biggest friend group, or if people think that they have business talking to me just because I'm walking or they feel entitled. I stand in my power and I take no shit. And I'm waiting for somebody to pass real quick. That's something else. When you're a powerful woman still in the workings of stepping truly into your power, you get tested a lot. You get tested a lot. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm always getting approached by people who shouldn't approach me. Granted, I live in a place where there's not a lot of opportunities and there's not a lot of great vibe people here. It's very, like I said, low vibe everything. When the education is low, expect everything else to be low. Okay? Jezebel has been my inspiration for this entire week. This entire week. Right before I got on here, I was thinking about how the big steps that I'm making, and of course I would love to share that, but we live in a world where it's a powerful woman. I like to say, in my experience, I live in a world where if I share anything, it might get a little bit messy if I share anything too soon, because as a powerful woman, my voice and my energy is very loud. So I am just going to say I'm making a choice, and I've been like thinking about the next steps that happen after that choice because I'm anticipating the choice, but I still have to live through the days to get to that choice. And I'm like, what if this, what if that? Then I remember Jezebel. And then I also remember this other story. So I went to Berlin last year, and one of my goals was to get into Berghain. And I knew that I was going to get into Berkheim before I got into Berkheim. I met this Turkish girl in one of the hostels that I stayed in when I was in Berlin. And I took her to the line to get into Berkheim with me. We were in the line and we were standing there, and she was worried. She was worried that everybody was worried in that line except for me. I wasn't worried. I don't worry when I already am determined. You know, it's just how I am. And she was like, "What if we don't get in? What are we going to do?" Mind you, if we wouldn't have gotten in, which we did, all the clubs are open until 6 a.m. anyways, so we would have been fine. But she was worried. She was like, "What are we going to do if we don't get in?" Which the worry is from just these what ifs, what ifs. And I looked at her dead in the eyes and I said, um, look at where we're at right now. We're all the way right here at the back of the line. This is where we're at right now. We are not at that door yet. Um, let's not worry about the what if. Let's worry about where we're at right. Let's worry. I said let's not worry about the what if. Let's be where we're at right now and wait till we get there. And then if we get there and it's no, then okay, we have plenty of other options. However, let's wait till we're there. Let's be where we're at right now and not look too far ahead. And that's exactly what I'm practicing right now with all these choices to be my most authentic self, physically, mentally, and spiritually, to be the most powerful version of myself, the unfuckwittable version, the fuck around and find out, and when you find out, you're done kind of version. Because I'm already that on the inside, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Um, but I have to realize that where I'm at, my feet, where I'm at right now is in this chair. Where I'm at right now is in this chair, and the money, the money, the performance, the art will come, but I can't be worrying about what if it happens this way or that way. I just got to realize where I'm at right now and how I got to live through the days. I swear, every time I talk about, oh, I'm fixing to go down this conventional path of a grueling thing, I always change. I always change. But this is a loop that I've been on for a while, and I haven't been able to make up my damn mind when it comes to everything that I want. And Jezebel, in the song, I'm going to quote it. In the song Jezebel by Sade, it says, she what the fuck did it say? Fuck. Let me remember. She says, reach for the top and the sun is going to shine. Every winter is a war, she said. I want to get what's mine. And that's what keeps playing in my head. And how Jezebel was not mad about where she came from, and she would never lie. She just made sure that she got what she wanted. And the one difference between my worry and her is that she just went for it. She just knew where she was at, and she knew where she was going, and she kept going. And I realized also that when the universe told me to keep going, it meant to keep going and not stop. Not necessarily giving me the answer or the solution to what I want a solution for, but telling me to just keep going. Because if I keep going, I'm going to get what I want. No matter which way it is, I have to be open to the possibilities that I can have all the money that I need to invest in myself. I can have everything that I need. I already do on a part of the timeline. And that I will stick with. Hi, my name's Karma. This is me today. You know, it might be me tomorrow. Shit. I don't know. See you later.